What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. A short update here for you as some exclusive news has been breaking with Fabrizio Romano today. And he says Tottenham are close to reaching agreement with Wolfsburg for Mickey van der Ven. Deal advancing to the final stages now. There are still details to sort, but talks underway. Agreement could be done soon. Personal terms are 100% agreed. But I don't know if I'm going through deja vu or something, but I do genuinely remember Romano saying this about 3 weeks ago.
Well, it looks like there is some movement, hopefully. Now, it looks like we are going to pull the trigger on Van der Ven, but after weeks and weeks of waiting and wondering what is going on, it seems as though Van der Ven is the centre-back of choice for Tottenham. And I, for one, I'm happy with that. Looks like we're making some movement, maybe going to be finally making some headway on this deal, because I think this weeks of uncertainty have been very frustrating for Tottenham fans, knowing that the centre-back position has been a source of ire for the team and for the fans. We know it's our main point of weakness. We haven't improved it in 2 years, significantly anyway, and I think Van der Ven, 22 years of age, if the price they're talking about is about £25 million or 30 million euros, I think, as much as I would rather Tapsoba, I still think it's a fantastic deal, and I think he's one who could really grow into that role next to Romero. And I think stylistically, I think he could be a really good yin to Romero's yang, and I think they can really complement each other in how they play. And I think he's going to be perfect for how Postecoglou wants to play his football. And I'm genuinely really excited to see him in a Tottenham shirt. If this deal, as it seems Romano's implying, seems to be progressing really nicely now for Tottenham. Does this mean that Tapsoba is completely dead? I guess we'll have to wait and see, but I'd envisaged that this probably does kill the Tapsoba deal, and I think Van der Ven will be the more expensive centre-back we've been choosing this summer. But I'm still happy with the fact that we are going to bring him through the door, because I do think he's a centre-back who really fits us nicely.
Look, let's get this straight. I am happy with this player coming in. I believe in his potential. I believe in his qualities and what he can bring to the Tottenham team. Is he going to come in and be that centre-back that we're all dying for straight away? My reservations are out. I think he's going to take a bit of bedding in period. He's a very young player, especially for a centre-back to come in and really say that our defensive problems are behind us. I think Tapsoba would have represented that, in my opinion, with the age he's at and the development he's at in this stage of his career. Van der Ven is a bit behind that. So I am a bit worried still going into this season with our defensive capabilities, but it is a massive step in the right direction. You got to say that. But I think what it does represent, it still represents Spurs going for the cheaper option once again. Tapsoba was there if we wanted to do the deal at a more heftier price that comes in, a ready-made centre-back that has got all the qualities that we need out of a centre-back to come in straight away and hit the ground running. I reckon that could have happened with Tapsoba. I'm not sure if that can happen with Van der Ven, but like I said, I think it's a step in the right direction, and I really believe that later on down the line we'll be reaping the rewards for this.
Yeah, and at least we're making a decision. I mean, it's taken us long enough, but I'm just happy that now Spurs are pushing ahead with one of the options. We're not just waiting and seeing what happens and putting it on ice and waiting to be gazumped. We're actually making some headway now, and I think we looks like we've made our choice with Mickey van der Ven. And just, if you remember, we did that tactical video of the West Ham game and like Tottenham being how we were sprung upon on the counter-attack and how we're going to need good one-on-one defenders with pace. Well, I think he represents that. And yes, he's still 22, and last season was his first season in the Bundesliga, and he did play over 30 games, and he looked really good, but it was only his first season like starting in a top 5 league. So there's obviously going to be a bit of trepidation when it comes to that. But I really believe that he will improve our defense for sure. Even just him being there 100%. Is going to improve our defense immediately. Not even when it won't take time. Whether he becomes that top-class centre-back in his first season, I think he's going to require some patience, because at 22, defenders of that age are rarely the finished article, or rarely of that level. So you got to expect some mistakes in his first season. He's going to have a learning curve, and the Premier League's a different league as well. It's going to be a bit more physical, but that recovery pace, his height, his ability to play on the front foot, his Vertonghen-esque runs into the final third, I think that's going to be a joy to behold, and I think he's Tottenham fans are really going to take to him. So I think that's really exciting. And as well, you got to remember, hopefully the plan is anyway, is that Tottenham, as much as we're going to need better defenders in a weird way, we're going to do less defending hopefully than we did last season. So hopefully on the occasions that we do have to do defending, we're going to have someone like Van de Ven who's capable at the back, chasing down players one-on-one. He's going to have that recovery pace, and he's got that physicality as well. So I think it's a great signing. I do think that Tottenham have balked at Tapsoba's price, and that's why we're going for him, and that is a shame. But just like how we moved on quick. Well, we didn't move on quickly in this one, but we did move on quickly from Raya and went to Vicario. And it looks like we're moving on from Tapsoba now. We're balking at the price. We're going for Van de Ven. It is frustrating, but I'm just happy we're making movements, because at one point it did seem as though we were going to be looking at Brentford away and we're going to have no new defenders. But you know what the reality is, though? He might come in before Brentford, but it doesn't mean he's going to start that game.
Yeah, I don't think he will, to be honest. And look, like I said, we've had this update from Fabrizio Romano before, and we've had to wait weeks for the next update. So hopefully this will speed up the process. Hopefully the process is sped up a bit now, and we do get him in before the start of the season. But I do envisage, like, even if he comes in now and we get the signing sealed before the end of the weekend, I still think you're probably going to look at Eric Dyer probably starting on that left centre-back role.
Yeah, now it'd be a shame, because if Van de Ven, if we would have acted quicker and realised that Tapsoba was going to be too expensive quicker and just went forward on Van de Ven before the tour, he would have had that time to acclimatise with the new teammates, learn Postecoglou's system. Now he's going to be playing catch-up. Let's say he comes in even today. Let's say he comes in tomorrow, which is unlikely, but let's say he does. That leaves them only like one pre-season game and a week to kind of get up to speed, whereas maybe Postecoglou might decide on a Dyer or a Davis or even a Tanganga just because they know the system a bit more right now, whereas Van de Ven's going to be playing catch-up. So it is frustrating that we've left it so late before the start of the season, but I'm just a bit relieved that there's a bit of movement finally at the centre-back position, and hopefully we're going to be getting a win in before the start of the season.
Yeah, we also heard yesterday in the update that we did bring to you that Spurs are readying a bid for Tosin Adarabioyo. So if we do bring in those two players for, let's say, 25 million, 40 million for the pair, which it could be 15 million for Tosin and 25 million for Van de Ven. First of all, that is really good value for these two centre-backs, in my opinion. You look at the right-hand side, you've got Romero and Adarabioyo. For the left-hand side, you've got Van de Ven, and anyone below that is probably players that we don't want: Tanganga, Dyer, Ben Davis in that position. So I think to go into this season with those options, I'm not mad at, but it's not perfect, and it leaves us with a job to do in either January or next summer to get a player that can provide competition to Van de Ven on that left side.
Yeah, I think Van de Ven and Romero is a good pair for sure to be going into the season with. But look, if you're comparing our centre-back options in total to our rivals, I still think we're behind, especially with the depth, even with Tosin there. But maybe Tosin can be better than a lot of people think, and maybe he could really step in when he is called upon. And if he does do that, then maybe our options look better than they are. But on paper, you look at Chelsea's options, you look at City's options, United's options, Arsenal's options, Liverpool's options. Apart from Liverpool, maybe don't have great depth. They've got Konate and Van Dijk, and after that it's not great. Like, I think our depth there is still not of our rivals, but then again, we're not in Europe, so maybe the depth this season isn't as important as it will be when we're back in Europe.
Yeah, absolutely. And Charlie Eccleshare, I mean, he did put an update just before this news broke from Romano, and he said Postecoglou is continuing to push for defensive reinforcements, but the pursuit of Tapsoba and Van de Ven is yet to reach an advanced stage. So times have moved on since he sent out that article. But look, it looks as though Spurs are finally getting that centre-back in. Mickey Van de Ven is the defender of choice. I'm not sure if it's to do with quality or to do with price. I got a feeling this decision has been swayed more because of price than quality, but I still think that this is a very astute signing and a very good signing, especially for the future for Tottenham Hotspur. Finally getting in a replacement for Jan Vertonghen, who has very Jan Vertonghen-esque skills. And like you say, I think going into a season with them two, Romero and Van de Ven, who can complement each other really well as our two options, is a very good starting point for the season. But if Van de Ven does get an injury, then we're in trouble.
Definitely.
So that is your Tottenham update. Another Tottenham update is on the way to you very, very soon. But thank you everyone for joining us today. Let me know your thoughts on Mickey Van de Ven in the comment section below. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.